Hey everybody, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 662. We're recording live on July 15th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I'm Cowtown Tony.
That's it. That's all. Dustin may join us here in a little bit. And Adriel, he is currently indisposed. He's on a bike someplace, an actual motorcycle, not on a bike, but apparently there's tornado warnings. Remember when you said there's no tornadoes or bad weather in Alberta? Well, I think you
We
lied.
never said that. It rained. It was torrential downpour for the entire spring. The entire province is underwater
Oh
now.
God, you guys didn't get anything. It's been winter here since last October. I don't know what's going on with Alberta or with here. I think we flipped. Ontario flipped and Alberta flipped their winters. And
Yeah, likely. Our winter is relatively mild, if you think about it that way, for sure.
yeah, I don't know. We've got a really cold one and really long. So enough talk about winter because it's now in the middle of summer and we're having tornadoes here. 2 weeks ago, we had a couple that landed in Kingston. It was pretty cool.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's Tornado Alley sometimes here. Well, we're getting into it. Why don't we talk a little bit about what we did in guns this week? I don't have to really choose from a lot of people. So, Tony, why don't you tell us what you did this week?
All right, I'm been off for a few weeks now because I was out last week, but I just checked. Didn't look like too many people were watching our candidate special and seeing me struggling, swimming around in the IPSC stage, trying to requalify for Black Badge. But I did do that, and the big old rainstorm, and I may have broken my first Vortex product.
What happened?
So it was a really quick stage because I'm just coming in for the recall. I'm not doing the paper test or the training part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So came onto the range just a little bit before noon. So for like the mini match part, it was raining heavy, and we had designated people holding an umbrella when unpacking my guns. Like that's not too necessary, but we still did it. I holstered a gun, everything. We had like kind of pseudo two squads, so one squad shooting, one squad's resetting. The stages aren't too big.
Normal, right?
Again, okay. I have one of the like the last stages, the big stage. It's like combination stage, shot, and the last one is the big combo one. Have that posted to Slamfire Radio, and yeah, try to like keep the raincoat on, cover the pistol when you can. But I started to notice that the first two stages were fine, and then on the third stage, I started to notice that I can't lower the brightness on my dot anymore. So that's kind of weird. Shot the third stage, that's fine, and then on the fourth stage, I think I'm starting to notice that dots is either I'm shooting terribly, which at this point I don't think I'm shooting too bad to the point that I can initially sight into a dot and then lose it. I just don't. I think I'm experienced enough not to do that anymore. But I've started to see either like the brightness of the dot starting to change mid string, or I feel like the dot may have been turning on and off as I'm shooting. So it's kind of odd. Well, finished the Black Badge. Everyone's wet. Pack up the gun. Went home, and then I think I managed to like turn it back on and off once more, and then it just it's stuck. It's just stuck on the maximum brightness, and there was a special tool if you have Defender Vortex Defender dots. That's for the battery door. You could use a flat screwdriver, but it's just better this way to not strip it. So I tried to check. Oh, is the battery cover loose? I haven't changed it in a while. Is the battery low? It wasn't. So wrote into Vortex like, oh, come send it in. Here's the sheet of things. So I did send that in before I went on my little vacation, and they did reply yesterday, which is pretty quick. They got the package, I think, Thursday, so it's like a 2-3 day turnaround. They said, yes, issue is as observed, and we're gonna replace your dot. So I have a new dot coming to me pretty quick. Hopefully soon enough for. It'll definitely be soon enough for the Sherwood Park match, so I will be fine. Well, have to re-zero it, I guess. So that's something. And Adriel mentioned there was the Vortex demo cell at the Calgary Shooting Center. I did pick up something. I was thinking about it for a bit. I was like, it's a really good price. So I picked up a scout
Which
scope for no good reason because it was relatively not so expensive. And I thought about like what happens if you put
it was financially responsible, is what you're
it
saying.
was financially acceptable. I wouldn't say it's responsible, acceptable, I
Well,
think. Um, so I always thought about, okay, what happens if you put a scout scope like in front of your eye, like a regular scope? And I did consult Vortex on it before, and they said, don't do that because your field of view will be really, really small.
yeah.
I didn't really understood that, and again, financially acceptable, not responsible. I bought it. So it was like, so basically, you get a humongous reverse um, scope shadow. So like the majority of your view will be black
Mhm.
if you do that. So, but I can find a application for this thing at a different date. Again, it's not that expensive, and it's something
Right.
to play with. I don't know. Maybe does that mean I have to buy a 2 grand scout rifle now? I feel like that's
That's
maybe
correct.
a possibility. Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, we'll see about that. And then I was down in the Freedom Land for the Freedom Land birthday. It was kind of like a
You're
always like
talking
a
about
boy
the
trip.
US July 4th, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. It's always like a boy trip. Last year, some listener might recall, I went to the Wisconsin Air Show.
Yep.
This year we went to South Carolina. It was really hot.
Nice.
Uh, but surprisingly, maybe it's because it's closeness to the ocean, not that many mosquitoes. So I was able to rock the shorts for the entire week there. Well, half a
Thanks for
week there.
that picture.
Uh, oh,
No,
huh?
I'm just saying. No,
Just the mind.
yep.
Anyway, uh, yeah, it was there was thunderstorm um, forecasted, but in the end we didn't get rain down, so that's pretty cool. Fireworks, very nice fireworks, and we took
Yeah.
some historical pictures. I'm gonna put on historical pictures, pictures with historical significance, maybe, and
Okay.
I'll probably put it on the Discord. And I did see a very big gun, caliber 460 millimeters,
Wow.
720-inch barrel length.
Uh-huh.
Probably a prohibited device here
You
because
think?
the it's over 100,000 joules, but it's breech loaded. What do you consider this? What kind of action type would you consider this? It's a component loaded gun. You load the bullet first, and the powder impacts second. So I don't know how the Canadian firearm would define it, but it is on board one of the 9 on board the battleship USS North Carolina. We were able to
Very
drive
cool.
up along the coast, and it is in a small town called Williamston, North Carolina,
Mhm.
close to the South Carolina border. So that's
That's
pretty cool.
cool.
We also visited the aircraft carrier, USS Yorktown, the second generation SX class in South Carolina. So that's all very cool. I I thought about carrying a gun because my Detroit buddy was there. So in South Carolina, I could have.
Okay.
And
So is it constitutional carry or is it
correct,
reciprocity? Okay.
constitutional carry. And there is
Okay.
a news about reciprocity for New Hampshire. We're going to cover it in the new news section. But I think it's just out of laziness, and you're probably not supposed to do it on a museum. And I feel completely safe on the museum, so it's probably fine. And I noticed a very little detail. If you go to Texas Roadhouse, a pretty interesting restaurant in the States, it says no, it says very clearly, no open carry.
Right.
So that means concealed carry is like explicitly allowed now. Like that's pretty cool because most places will say no weapons, right? So and of course because uh, like Detroit Buddy's flying, he carried most of his pistol arsenal over so I can clean them for him because I am the friend group gunsmith in a sense, I guess. So yeah, he got himself a very nice like special edition Springfield 1911 that has
Oh,
like
cool.
gold drawing and inlet on it. It's very fancy. It's like don't disassemble it. I will clean it. You just need to put it back in the display case. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't put it in a scratch on it. That's just a big sin. Anyway, so yeah, I got to play with a Ruger RXM as well. The disassembly was pretty interesting. For some reason, it's one of the first Glock pistol I have to pull the trigger twice to remove the slide. For some reason, when after you pull it once and try to slide it off, you'll get hang up and the trigger will reset. You have to pull
And
it
you have to pull
again.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe I just haven't taken enough Glocks apart. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Pulling the trigger is not a required part for disassembly in 1911. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, enjoying maybe just a tad too bit too much freedom. It was really hot, but
It was really hot, but you had a great
yeah,
time,
but
it
it
sounds
was, it was
like.
a
And you
great
saw
time.
some really, really cool
Just
things and had
just
some time for friends.
tears in my eyes as my plane's taking off. I was like, I can never have this much freedom. I'm going to a place with paper straws.
Oh
Let's put it
gosh.
that way. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way. That's a big
So
downgrade.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to lose you like we did to Kyle?
Ah, if if the opportunity were to arise, that the
Yeah.
chances are non-zero.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
let's put it that way.
Okay.
It is really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. DS is really nice.
And
And
but there's always the argument that um, there was this Chinese talk show person that said it. Traveling is going from places that you're sick of staying at to going to
Mhm.
places that other people are sick of staying at. So
Hey,
maybe it's just
yeah.
what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm not lying. Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
What
Yeah.
about Kelly? What did you do in guns?
I haven't been on for a while as well. So, a couple things. So, we had the podcast last night where she shoots. We had Amanda McPhee come on and talk about a program that she's currently facilitating down in the Niagara Falls region, and it's for youth and teaching them about outdoors and all the cool things associated
That's
with it,
awesome.
the impacts that they have on and the environment and decisions. It's really, really cool. So if you're interested, go and tune into that episode. Again, it was just recorded last night, so it just dropped. A couple of other things that I've been doing. I went to the range, tried out, an optic myself, and shooting it on a shotgun. That was lots of fun. I delivered and facilitated the club level ATT for the local club that I have here. Had a new partner in crime, so
How often are you guys still doing that? That's crazy.
all our new shooters, all of our new intake, we run it because we still have people
Even
with
for rifle
pistols.
shooters?
No, the club level
Right, it's
ATT is
just
only for
just
the
red.
pistol. We just want to make sure that people who are shooting pistols on the indoor
I'm just
range
surprised
are.
there's still such a high take rate because
Yep, yep,
there's no more. Well, I won't say no more. There are some coming
right.
back into the market. So
Well, our wait list for our club in particular, it's a year and a half long. So people,
fair enough.
right? So people do own pistols. They're just interested in coming into the club. So ran that with Patrick, one of our listeners, one of my maple seed instructors as well. So we did it in tandem together because Henri, who I usually do it with, he was incapacitated or he wasn't able to do it. So decision was move forward. Had a good time with it. Made sure that everybody was able to hit their required number of bullets on paper at a specific distance, and I didn't make anybody cry this time. So it was a success. So yeah,
Shooting challenge too hard.
yeah, I guess so. Or I don't know. Apparently, I'm intimidating or I make people cry sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, and I got some. I was going to sign up for. There's a IPSC match that's going to be taking place at Lower Trent Valley this weekend. I was going to sign up, but I can't because yeah, I haven't shot a match in a little bit, or it wasn't recorded, so I have to earn that out and figure out what I need to do for
Really?
that. Yeah, true story. I was kind of a little I'm going, no, it can't be. But it was. So I have to figure that out so that I can shoot IPSC again. Anyways,
Let's just do a super. Usually, it's gonna be a supervised shoot of some
yeah.
kind.
No, like, yeah, come on. It's me, right? I should be able to get that done, no problem. But yeah, I have to
That's
problem
the
solve
timing
that.
thing and bureaucracy. It's kind of annoying.
It is what it is. So that's fine. We're setting up some stuff for the Gunny Girl calendar. It's going to be we're going to be doing the photo shoot, so that's taking part of my time as well. But yeah, that's going to be happening soon. I'm super excited about that too. I get to go and meet some new people that I haven't met before, and then spend some time with my most favorite people ever. Obviously. What else? I don't think I did anything else. I had a couple of meetings about Maple Seed. I helped out at a Maple Seed. Um, two, I think. Couple. I had lots of stuff I've done since I've been on, but nobody wants to hear about it. So, yeah. We're gonna get into. Let's get into upcoming events. So there are a couple that are coming up. So the Hunting Gear, the HDG firearms training. So it's Adriel. He's doing a PAL and RPAL course. Sorry, no, it's PAL course on July 18th and July 19th, Sherwood Park Fish and Game Club there in Alberta. So the one on the 18th is all sold out, but there is still lots of spots on the 19th. So go and do that, sign up, and go get your PAL. So we have a couple of things that are taking place for 3gun.ca, 18th and 19th at CDTSA, so Mila Range. There is a 3-gun match that's going to be taking place August 8th and 9th at Sherwood Park Fish and Game. There's a team match that's going to be taking place August 15th. Go to Chaz, sign up for that. And on September 19th, there's a combat shotgun at Sherwood Park. Lots of things taking place at Sherwood Park for 3-gun. Maple Seed, you got to whip those Ontario guys into shape. Where are all the Ontario events? That's me. We have some events that are taking place. So this weekend, I think it's this weekend. Yeah, July 18th and 19th, Fort St. John, BC, it has a Maple Seed that's taking place. If you are near Fort St. John and you want to learn how to shoot, you maybe even improve your skills, go and sign up for that. So July 15th and sorry, I just said 15th. It's not. July 25th and July 26th. Milo. Oh, that one sold out. And then we got Mission BC on July 27th. We got some more events that are taking place in Ontario as well. Go and look at the events calendar and sign up for them. If there is an open spot, again, they don't stay open very long. So if you want to take a seat, go and do it. BTSA, there is a Steelers Challenge that's going to be taking place on July 26th. You can register through Practice Score. Go and do that. And normally we have our friend Dave on to talk about ORA, but go check out the Ontario Rifle Association.ca website. And you can look at anything that the ORA is doing too. I talked about that really fast. Yeah. Let's get into the news. So when we were initially talking about the show and what we were going to talk about a little bit, we thought maybe we can talk about IPSC Canada has applied, and they've applied as the intervener on the Supreme Court case that's going to be heard soon. But we also heard today, or maybe it was yesterday, that SCI is also applied for intervener status too.
I did not know.
Yeah, so I shared
I
that
know
on.
about IPSC. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I shared that. I think it was today that that was posted. I knew it was taking place. I got a little bit of a in on that, right? Same thing with IPSC, but they hadn't put their paperwork in yet, so they have officially filed for it. So both IPSC and SCI. So we're looking at it from a competitive stance for IPSC Canada, and we're looking at it from a hunting stance because hunters are affected by this as well from the SCI stance. So any interveners also have to have something of value to bring. So and that's why the Supreme Court of Canada will make a decision whether they're able to be part of the court
Do we
challenge too.
know if like when the intervener are going to be granted versus not?
No, they like I don't know when they're going to be told, but
Okay.
once they are told, so all the parties involved will be also advised, and so we would make that known too. Aha. So there's also a little bit more news about the Supreme Court challenge too. So I just shared it on social media 2 days ago, I believe it was, or maybe a little bit before then. But the Supreme Court of Canada has decided that they're going to hear the case or start hearing the case on November 9th and 10th. So we're getting rolling. We're going to get started on it. And it's going to be happening before the end of the year. So I think that's not a bad thing, but it will take a while for us to go through it. Uh, and I'm hoping that, obviously, I'm hoping, but everybody else is hoping that there will be some positive results from it. I do think it has merit, and I think that the Supreme Court of Canada are interested. They wouldn't have agreed to hear it. Again, only 6% of cases that are ever put forward to the Supreme Court of Canada are accepted as being heard. So they think that there's some merit to or something interesting about the case. So I think we have a half a shot. And yeah, I think it's really, really important that we continue to push forward. I've seen some comments recently about that we're never going to win, or some naysayers and all that. Well, guess what? We're doing whatever we can in order for us to actually keep our guns, and this is part of it. And it's just we have no other option. Um, Another announcement, it's not in the news, and I didn't put it in there, but I wanted to talk about it because it was also released yesterday. The CCFR is also taking the federal government to court on behalf of the Saskatchewan firearms owners. It's a class action lawsuit, so we're suing the government. So congratulations, Saskatchewan. So that's something else. So if you think the CCFR is not fighting for your rights, absolutely 100% are. Yes, I'm biased, but also the reality is we're doing what we can in order for us to actually keep our guns. So, Tony, any thoughts on that before we get into Tenda and all that?
No, I think it's great to hear. I've heard about the news about the class action lawsuit. I don't know how it exactly applies to Saskatchewan residents versus, for example, Albertan residents.
Because Saskatchewan has new laws that they've implemented, right?
Right, that's
Alberta
true.
hasn't. So,
Saskatchewan is definitely more proactive on
correct,
this matter.
correct,
Alberta is, I won't say we're lagging behind, but we're definitely not the forerunner in that category,
correct.
let's say. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, we're fighting for our legally acquired, vetted property purchases
Right.
or our ability to enjoy hunting from the SEI, the Safari Club International standpoint, or
Mhm.
the IPSC competition sport shooting side of the challenge as well.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts on that too. I agree with you. So, all right, let's talk about Tenda, Calgary. Did you put this in here or did somebody else put this in here?
I believe I did. Well, it's the rumor has been running around for a while now, but there's Watenda coming out on CGN mentioning they're hiring people for the Calgary location. I don't know where it's gonna be yet, but so that'll be. Um, I don't know what the thought process is behind it for Tenda. Maybe because Shooting Edge is no more in
Yep.
Calgary. There's a little bit of a maybe
Gap.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest, I don't know how that's gonna affect my purchasing behavior because they already ship ammo for free anyway if you make a big enough purchase. But always interesting and good to see competitions in town. That's generally speaking better for the consumer. So
Yeah.
I'm not against it. Never been to the tender store in
Listen,
Ontario though. So
yeah, well, I think it's a good thing. I think one reason is because they're pivoting a little bit too. So they're if they're looking to open a store in Calgary, I think it's always a good thing when we open more stores when then we're close. Well, then we're closing. That's not really making sense because we're closing a lot of retailers right now. So if we are opening something, let's celebrate it and let's go and shop in
I didn't
person,
notice
right?
this part. This will be pretty interesting.
But
Maybe quite a few employees want to come to Alberta. They offer unique interprovincial mobility. So
there you
I don't know.
go.
Maybe quite a few veterans will be coming here too. So
Well, land of freedom ish. So Alberta compared to other provinces. Just saying.
I can't even call this diet freedom. Maybe it's freedom zero. It's like kind of there, but not really.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so good on Tenda. Yeah. All right. You put in here New Hampshire carrier permit. What the permit? What's that about? Is that kind of like what we
So
talked about? What?
yes and no. So for the longest time, if you want to apply for a non-resident carrying
Mm-hmm.
permit as a Canadian
Yeah.
for the US, I think there was somewhere in the West where you could do it before. Was it Utah or something? But that 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 was closed a few years ago. So the last remaining state was New Hampshire.
Correct.
Um, to be honest, unfortunately, the reciprocity is kind of getting squeezed out by just having
Yeah, I know.
constitutional carry.
Yep.
So I believe even New Hampshire might be constitutional too. So where you can carry is in North Carolina, funny enough. And since me and Adrian are going, Adrian's like, you gotta get it. So I was like, okay, right, check. I fill out the form, and generally speaking, from a past experience, if you attach your Canadian RPAL, um, they're pretty okay with giving
They're
one to
yeah.
you because
Yeah.
in the Canadian sense, you already vetted. Unfortunately, there are some reports that the application process for some reason is running very, very long.
Mhm.
So, so a few people try to call, including Adriel, who called in, and they're currently sitting on the fence of if the law need to be changed and if New Hampshire is gonna continue issuing out non-resident permit. I don't think it's really against Canadians. It's just are they gonna issue out non-resident permit at all? So the official response is the process is currently on hold. They have all the mails in a bucket lined up. And once
In
they've
a
made a
bucket, really?
decision, well, in a filing cabinet, I guess, I
All
don't know.
right.
Um, and they're going to figure out if they're going to process them as they were received, if they
That'd be the
decided to
fair way
green
to
light
do
it,
it.
or just to rip them all apart because that whole idea is done.
Okay.
So we'll see if
Well, I
how the
hope that's
program
not
is
the
going to
case.
change. But if you have plans to renew or to apply for one, it might not be the best time to do it right now because the whole process is on hold. In Canada, you might need to get a not a cashier, like a bank
Draft.
draft for
Yeah.
$100 instead of having like a US check for $100 where the money is technically not out of your account until they actually did something with it. So weigh your benefits and risks.
Hmm. Okay. Well, thanks for the update on that. It's interesting to hear, but you are correct. Constitutional carry is squeezing out reciprocity, and some places don't even recognize New Hampshire as a
Right.
reciprocity state, anyway. So
It's not necessarily New Hampshire, it's more non-resident permits.
correct. Yeah.
That has kind of a additional layer of consideration into it. But a
Yeah.
lot of states are, which for a good thing, are allowing constitutional carry, so you can just
You can just do it.
do the right thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know about that. Let's get into new gun stuff. There's a couple things on here. I just clicked on the. Are you able to share your screen? Because I
Yep.
don't want. I'm stupid with this IT shit.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
There's one of the winners for the three gun circle, the Harry Lever Supreme, the
Where there you
TT3.
go.
Accepts stand magazines, lever action, side eject, tank safety, I'm pretty sure, internal hammer
Hmm.
for $16.49, $100 off. But for today, if you use the coupon code pickup and you pick it up, in the store, which I guess is not required for a firearm in Canada, but you'll save additional 10% on it. So
Woot
that'll be a really
woot.
good deal for a Henry lever action that shoots your surplus 223 because you have nowhere else to expend it.
Mhm. Well, Cabela's, there you go. You can order it and pick it up in store. Okay, question.
Don't forget to use our link. You can
I was
find
going to
that
say,
at
so use our link, then we get a kickback.
yep.
Well, okay, is
It
technically a kickback? Yeah, it is.
yeah,
So
it
we get a little, yeah, we get a couple.
it
You
doesn't
know,
affect the viewer's ability to use the coupon code. So
there you
there you
go.
go.
Pick up in store. Okay, so we have one more thing on the list of yeah. So it's Facebook, it's Shooter Specialties, P3 Shooter
Yep,
Specialties.
P3
Tell me,
shooter
tell me
specialties.
about that.
So uh, basically, always check on just follow their Facebook
Ken.
page. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But they
Yep.
have a few more options coming in. Where did my thingy go?
Oh, they got the Holson
Oh, I found it.
too.
Yep, they have new Holosons coming in.
Yeah.
They have new CZs coming in as well. Shadow
Mm-hmm.
2s, 9
Stop
millimeter.
speaking American. Go ahead.
Oh, uh, sure. I guess I don't know. I originally I did not belong on this continent, so I don't know how to English.
It's true.
Yeah, they have TS2s and 40 Smiths and Wesson. That'll be if you want to shoot limited, and sorry,
Yeah.
not limited, USPSA limited or standard,
Mm-hmm.
or they have the TS3 and 9 millimeter if you want to shoot optics, which is pretty standard optics. That's some of the CZ's offering they have now, and they also have Glock options coming on as well. Glock
Sweet.
17 Gen 3, MOS Gen 4. No mag. Oh, I guess that's fine. Glock 22s. Oh wow, quite a few 40 Smith & Wesson options. Gen 5 and Gen 3 Glock 22s, including one Gen 5 was MOS. Glock 34, if you want to go big pistol production, 9 millimeters. And they also have a Gen 4 Glock 34 MOS. So that will be production optics, legal. And
Mm-hmm.
a Glock 35 MOS. So that'll be standard. Well, I guess you could shoot open with it if you really
Okay.
wanted to, major. So yeah. Other Glock models are special order and may take 90 to 120 days to arrive, but they are available. So Ken is really up in what's available to
Mm-hmm.
rent,
So go,
to
yeah.
commercial
So
loan
right. So
in
we have to,
Alberta.
yeah, we have to report that this is P3. So it's in Alberta. It's loaning of these. It's not selling. So
Correct.
correct. Okay. Perfect. Awesome.
Commercial landing. I think that's the correct term for it.
Correct. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into the main topic. So we're going to get right into our interview this evening. We have a couple of people with us, Joel and Ryan Primus. They have a brand new show that's out on Prime Video. It's called Finding Nowhere. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show tonight.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hi.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, Joel, you reached out to us and saying, hey, would you, I heard about you guys. I think that will be a great fit for coming on the show. I have to say this. I have started watching Finding Nowhere and I'm now addicted. I am 1.5 episodes in, and you know what, Joel, I have to say this. You and I are kind of kindred spirits because I too was somebody who was a vegan and not supportive of hunting, but yeah, I think that from what I've seen so far, you and I are very much kindred spirits that we're changing our views and thoughts on things. So, and I'm now actually a hunter, so I just have to say that.
What was the changing incident for you that started to shift your perspective on things?
How hunters are conservationists, sustainability, and how we actually protect our herds. as well as we manage ourselves too, and giving back to the communities, everything. So I come from an Indigenous background and how we utilize everything. There is a saying, as somebody who's Indigenous that doesn't eat meat is really a poor hunter. I had to fix that as well. So, but yeah. I changed my mind because I was open to learning about hunters and again about sustainability and managing the herds. If we hunt them or overhunt them, then we will not be able to continue feeding our families or having those herds flourish. It's yeah. So I had pretty much the same views as you prior to that. So. I just wanted to mention that. Okay, so now that's enough about me. Let's get into you. So let's talk about a little bit about you before we get into the show itself. So Joel, why don't you tell us a little bit where you're located? A little bit about your background too, because we didn't discuss that prior to hitting the go live button tonight. So I'd like to hear a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Again, thanks for having us here. It's kind of a surreal moment for Ryan and I. Again, we didn't expect the show to catch fire, and so it's a real
Yeah.
privilege to be here sharing how this very organic experience came to be what it is today. I'm not sure you're familiar with Dragon's Den. So
Oh yeah.
my start in, call it anything, TV entrepreneurship came from an underwear line I'd started called Naked Underwear. And I got invited to go on Dragon's Den back in 2008. And the producers of the show said, hey, if you want this episode to air, we think you need to do the pitch in your underwear. So stripped down on national TV and was called Delusional, but ended up taking Naked all the way to the NASDAQ. And I was living in New York. And that's when Ryan, to his credit, we don't live together. I live in Agassiz down in the Fraser Valley. He's up in Prince George, and he kept every year inviting me up. Every year I said no. and then one time he got me up, and it became the beginning of the idea for this show. So yeah, I come from a background of, I grew up in the city or in the suburbs, and have lived in the city most of my life. And my dear cousin here called me back to explore what rewilding might be like. And that's where we find ourselves today.
That's awesome. So you guys are polar opposites of each other. You're a city boy is what I'm seeing and hearing and watching the show. Ryan, you're a little bit different. Tell us a little bit about you and how you were brought up.
I pretty much lived in the country like my whole childhood, as far back as I can remember. My dad was a hunter. I don't have a lot of memories of him being overly successful. He didn't pursue hunting the same way that I have fallen in love with it. But that was like his, he still loved the outdoors, and he was always like a big adventurer. Like that part, that was stronger for him than the hunting aspect. He would go out with a rifle, but he would move through the bush and just walk and explore. So I grew up with that, and he would take me along for quite a few pretty cool adventures and stuff. So all the way up, that just continued. We attended like a church out in the country, and a lot of times the groups would get together and do big hunting trips. So it was like a very community-based thing as well. I grew up realizing that it wasn't just hunting, but it was like everything to do with it. It was the community, all that kind of stuff. So I was 22 before I actually got my hunting license, and I just moved in with a buddy that was like, hey, why don't you go get your license? We need to put a moose in the freezer because meat's expensive. And that's how it started. And I remember I got my first, limited entry bull moose tag, and I couldn't sleep. Like I was just like so excited to just go out for the first time. And it only took 2 days. I filled the tag, and I was just like, every year I just could not wait to get back out there.
2 days. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it started to evolve. Much to the my wife, it started to drive her nuts, because then all of a sudden a buddy after a few years was like, hey, have you ever hunted white-tailed deer? And I was like, no. And then he was like, hey, have you ever hunted elk? And I was like, nope. And then I started going after all these different species, and then I really realized that like every different animal that I hunted, not only, was like a different hunting experience. It took you to a different terrain.
Yeah.
You're hunting in different geographical location for like every single animal. And it was like the particular aspects of every single one of those experiences offered something different to me. And it drives me back every single year to, I have a hard time having to give up a hunt in a year if it's required of me. So
Hmm. And you mentioned your wife. So I do know that your wife was also involved in the show because I'm right in the middle of an episode where she's hunting with you. So you are somebody that hunts with your wife too.
yeah, so that was like a slow evolution. When we got together, we've been together 22 years now since we started dating. And at the time she was like, oh yeah, I could tolerate, eating wild game. And she's like, it's good. And I was like, no, come on. One day I said, you're going to learn to love this. Like, I promise. And I wasn't wrong. I'm not right about like a ton of stuff, but like that was one of the things that I was right about. And through time, we lived in the city. She eventually was like, I want to live in the country, grow a garden. And then a few years back, she like did up like a vision board, and she was like, I want to harvest my own big game animal, like all to myself. And for the episode that you're part way on, yeah, she had her big bull draw, and I knew where we were going. The odds were really good. And yeah, so now, and she's like really all in, like even moving forward with the show. It's like we've got opportunities to hunt waterfowl, and she's like, you're not doing that without me. Like, I want to go goose hunting, I want to go duck hunting. We did a turkey hunt in April, and she was like, you're not doing that without me. Like, she's just like crazy, like, I want to go turkey hunting.
He's talking about episodes though, so we're like you're 1.5 episodes in, but we're on the cusp of season 3 beginning filming here. And so interestingly, like, this idea, you brought it up and I thought that was really interesting, was you hunt with your wife. And so in the finale of season 2, which will be out early next year, we actually get into what it means to be married to a hunter and what it means to be a hunter's wife. And it's something that it was unexpected because Dana was in the truck with me while Ryan was in the front truck with a guide. And she just starts talking. And I'm like, this is interesting stuff here. Ryan hasn't heard it or seen it. And I was like, I want to build on that even in season 3 because it's a real thing. And again, everything for me in this show is new. I don't, to me, it doesn't mean anything. And then all of a sudden it comes up and I'm like, wow, that's a story there.
Yeah.
Even this dynamic.
So we're already talking about season 3, but we haven't even gotten into about how we got into season 1. Let's back up the bus a little bit from that perspective. Well, first of all, how did you find the name Finding Nowhere? Because I think it's a really cool name.
It's a good name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ryan, you tell it, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So I'll back up just a little bit before like where we came up with the name, but it was like I had been watching a lot of Meat Eater, and I loved that show, and I was like, I just turned to my wife one night and I was like, man, I'd love to like film some of my adventures. Like I do some pretty fun stuff. And she's like, totally, I support you. Like, let's see what that looks like. So I ended up getting in touch with our cousin Seth, who's a videographer. And I said, hey, you want to come film some hunting stuff? Like, let's just go have a good time and see what this is about. And of course I invited Joel up, and I was like, dude, Seth's coming along. You've said you committed the year before. I had him up at a trap line, and he was like, how do you get your PAL? How do you get your hunting number? And he did all of that stuff, and he was ready. So I said, here, let's do this. And it was like, definitely, I in my head just kind of pictured like YouTube style content, and then Joel like shows up with this, we always laugh about it, it's like his manila envelope with like all of his notes and his shots and the clipboard, and he's like got his director's hat on, and it was just like super casual. It was just something that I said, I was like, Joel was talking about getting out in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, yeah, man. I said, we're gonna go find nowhere. And then Joel was like, yeah, that's it. He's like, finding nowhere. Because nowhere is also literally everywhere. So it's like everybody's got their little piece of nowhere, and so it really works.
We didn't intend to shoot the show that we shot on that very first outing. And then when it was done, I was so taken by so many aspects of what had just transpired, just the learning aspect, but the perspective shift from me coming from the city, who everybody I
Mhm.
spoke to down there was like, well, what's wrong with you? Why would you go and kill an animal? And specifically, that was a bear hunt. And that
Yeah.
has an even higher degree of controversy, if you will, when you speak about that particular hunt. And it's interesting how people categorize what is acceptable and what isn't. And so I said, there's a real story here where people can, without us saying, here, this is our perspective on why you should hunt, or why hunting is supportive of conservation. Is just watch it through my literal eyes as Ryan teaches it. But also, Ryan brought up community, and I was so taken by the beginning to the end, not just the hunt, not just the part where you get out of the truck with a rifle or a bow. From the time that you say you're going on a hunt, to the planning, to the getting in your truck, as Ryan said he couldn't sleep, to your favorite coffee shop, your favorite food stop along the way to your hunt, all of these things shape this experience. And I didn't have a lot of context on whether or not that had been done before in a hunting show, but all of it to me signaled a really interesting show that could capture the full dynamic of what it is that people love about hunting. Right. And so that,
Mhm.
and then the first one went good enough to do second one, which is what you're watching. And it
Yeah.
just goes from there.
I was really taken by how much trust you had in Ryan. Particularly, like, again, I'm only 1.5 episodes in, right? But Ryan, you kept asking him about a bear hunt. You said, well, I never even thought people would eat bear. First of all, right? We didn't hunt. Why would you hunt a bear? But the trust you had in Ryan, and Ryan, you were, I think you phrased it, Joel, like he was like your mother, right?
Oh, I said he's like a
About the
combination
gear.
between a mother and a brother.
Yeah.
And I think because listen, Ryan wears I wear a couple of hats. We're filming. Ryan also wears a couple of hats, right? Ryan wears the hunter hat,
Yeah.
which is, and one guy who watched the show, he's like, I know exactly what Ryan feels like when he's frustrated with you, because he's a hunter and he doesn't want to sabotage the hunt.
Yeah.
And I know
know.
exactly what Ryan feels like when he's a teacher.
Yeah.
And you can see it. I don't want to spoil the next half an hour of your television viewing, but you see it in how Ryan teaches, and how rewarding that can be for anyone who takes somebody out into the woods for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's something that's age old. Like, fathers and mothers, hunters and gatherers, have been taking out young people for as long as we've walked this earth, to do
Yeah.
just that, learn this thing. And it's so rewarding. And I can't speak to it because I've never taught anybody how to hunt, but Ryan can really speak to that experience. And I think that that's part of what you really enjoy about in the show, right? Ryan is being
Right.
able to do that.
Right. So he was militant, by the way, when he was savage when he was going through your gear.
Yeah.
He was and you had to weigh yourselves so that you could actually look at the percentage of gear and who's carrying what. And but he did, and I'm totally surprised that he allowed you to keep your white Crocs. Ridiculous.
Oh, we'll get into that. But going back to the point that you were making is about trust, and I think that that's a really
Yeah.
interesting thing, because, like, so Ryan actually lived with my family down in the Fraser Valley for a year, and we did a little bit of hiking together. But mm, I trusted Ryan like a big brother anyway,
Yeah.
right? Like, he was always my big brother. If he was down, he was my big brother, and I looked up to him. And so I trusted him as anyone would trust their big brother. And carrying that into the woods, you're right, is a big leap, because you're not just saying, hey, like, I trust you not to get attacked not let me get attacked by a grizzly, but, like, I trust you that this way of life is as you've said it is. It's fulfilling, it's rewarding,
Yeah.
and it's worth the effort, and it's worth stepping outside of your comfort zone, not just because you've never done it before, but because a lot of people aren't going to understand what you're doing or why you're doing it, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, and I don't want to ramble on, but, like, it's something that I've learned when you're hunting with people. You have to hunt with people that you have a great degree of trust with, and it creates bonds that are hard to forge anywhere else,
Yeah.
especially in our digital world.
Hmm. I agree. You you went hunting with your cousin, and the videographer that captured everything is also your cousin. They're family, right? Um, I am seeing that special bond. I'm also seeing, it's you can tell your family as
Oh,
well.
the similarities?
The similarities and also the
We
differences
fight
as
like
well.
family off screen
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Well, a few
Uh,
more family members do show up in the season, just so you know.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I really,
Yeah.
truly am. Um, I think early on, what I got from it was that it's not necessarily about hunting and fishing, the show itself. I think it's got a little bit deeper meaning to it as well. It's about, again, going back to the sustainability, and that's is what we've done for a long, long time. I don't know if you want to talk about that, or Ryan, if you want to talk about why it's so important that it's more than just a hunting and fishing show.
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. Actually, there was we just got, we get some fan mail from time to time, and there was a fellow, I don't know where he was from, and to me, it was actually one of the more remarkable, reach outs that we had. And the guy said it really, really touched him when I prayed over the animal, and Joel
Yeah.
was actually weeping. And this guy said that he was like a big time outdoor adventurer enthusiast, and he had always thought about hunting. And he said when he saw that measure of reverence that we had in what we were doing, and he realized that that's what hunters are about for the most part, that he said, you guys got me into hunting now.
Yeah.
He said that showed me something that I'd never seen before. And I actually reached out to him personally shortly after to thank him for that remark, because that is 100% what we wanted to achieve. I've said to people often along the ways that what I want to achieve is not just showing people an exciting hunt, but to humanize hunters in the eyes of the rest of the world. And I don't think, not that I think other hunting shows are necessarily irreverent, but when you jump into a show and it's like the start of the episode is the start of a hunt,
Yeah.
and the episode ends at the end of the hunt, it doesn't really show a lot of like who we are and what we're experiencing along the way. So it's like the whole journey, the camaraderie, and of course the high level of reverence that we have towards the prey that we're pursuing, and how important and what it means to us, I think is really important to show everyone.
Yeah.
We had a lot of hunters' wives have reached out and said, I don't like hunting shows, I like your show because it's different.
Yeah.
I'll add to just really briefly what Ryan said is, at the end of it, because it is, and Ryan can definitely speak to the sustainability and the lessons that we teach about rewilding and why that is relevant today in a world where, we talked about this in the last episode, you don't need to hunt to get good meat. So why do it? Right. But if you boiled it all the way back down, it's about seeing the world through somebody else's eyes. It's me seeing the world initially through Ryan's eyes, but it's us together. And that's why we highlight the town, because the town lends to a little bit of texture as to, well, why would the people who live in this town hunt in the surrounding forests? And I think we could all use a little bit of seeing the world through somebody else's eyes today. And so we try and do that, and that singular idea really allows us to be quite diverse in where we go and what we do and who we talk to, right? Because it's just, hunting's the medium, but it's, if you can see this person's perspective on hunting differently than you did before, well, what else can you see differently than you did before?
Yeah. And that's how you're going to change minds as well.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I want to commend you on is exactly that. You're showing the whole entire thing. You're throwing the setup, and I want to talk about how you choose the different locations. But I do want to commend you because you did show that. You showed that you gave thanks to that animal and you prayed over that animal. And Joel, I have to say that when it was the mountain goat, obviously, right?
Spoiler.
And I know. but it had a huge impact on you, and I think that also affects the people who are watching the show. It humanizes you. We also remember the first time that we picked in whatever it was we were hunting as well, and it does have an impact on you as a person, and you give thanks for that animal, and it's going to sustain you, your family, and also depending on the animal itself, more than just your family too. So I thought that was important. Absolutely, 100%, that you showed that aspect of things and the human side of things too. So thank you for doing that. Yeah. So how do you choose the locations? Because Dawson Creek, that was one of the first locations that you did choose. Why did you choose that one?
Well, it had to do with a few things. It had to do with where the proximity to the goat draw that I got.
Right.
But we hooked up with a store called Coeur Lane Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
And they became an early supporter of our show, not financially initially, but then they eventually came on as a partner in later seasons. And it was again the open arms thing, right? I needed a rifle, so Dawson, they said, oh, we'll set you up, and so we wanted to include that because that's part of the first time experience, and if you're already a hunter, upgrading your gear is part of that. But it's an independently funded show, and so a lot of season one was built around. First, we wanted to show a diverse cross-section of this incredibly beautiful province we have. Yeah. But the second was, well, what LEHs did we have? Where did we have opportunity and access to do something? And so we played within those parameters a little bit within the first season. And then we got to push that a little bit in the second season when there was slightly more opportunity. But yeah. I don't want to take anything away from what you're saying here, Ryan, but I think we'd love to showcase every piece of this diverse province over the life of the show, because we think every piece deserves its own story. And that's not just the people, it's the place, not just the towns, it's literally the geography. Yeah. As Ryan said when he started, every hunt provides a different geography, which provides a different storyline. And we think, hey, it's a character in the show, the location itself. Yeah,
I agree. Ryan, you had a huge part in choosing the sporting goods store that Joel was going to go and get his first rifle at. You said that you researched it, you'd never been there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you chose that store?
Because they were, to be honest with you, I was like, being fully honest, I was like, I'm way more of an avid hunter than I am a gun nut, as some people might refer to themselves as. I was like, I don't care about guns so much as long as you put something reliable in my hands, and I want to go out and spend time in the bush. And then I know people that go to the range and they shoot and they shoot and they shoot and they talk about this ballistic and that and this and that. And I'm like, I start to float off into this netherland. Having said that, a cousin of mine, who's actually, you'll meet him in further episodes here, he was really, really big into guns for a long time, and that was his go-to. He was always like, I'm going to Coeur Lanes. Man, that's like a 4-hour drive. He's like, they're the best. That's where I'm going. So that was like, I'd always heard the name for so many years, and it's like there's not a lot of good gunsmiths out there as well, and they had a reputation for doing really good work. And the first animal that I ever shot was with a rifle that had gone through like a pretty good renovation through their store. So it just kind of seemed like a good fit.
Have you changed your perspective on that though? Are you a bit more into the tech gear gun side of it now that we've spent a little time in Coeur Lane? And
yeah, I mean, it's fun, like experimenting with different calibers and things like that, and spending time at the range. I think more so than like, I don't need to shoot a lot of different rifles, and I don't need to own a lot of different rifles. But what I really enjoyed was getting a high caliber piece of equipment that I could really trust to be accurate, and then practicing with it. So before I got into goat hunting, I would fire 3 rounds at a target from 100 yards, and I knew that I was good enough to go blast a moose. Sorry, that sounds a little bit harsh. I was good enough to go harvest a moose.
Blast a moose and then pray over it in reverence. Right?
Yeah, and that was the extent. I was like, it was my rule. You always check your rifle before you go hunting. But you know, a 3-inch group at 100 yards, you're well within the kill zone of a moose. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, goat hunting, that's neat. But I'm shooting at something a quarter the size of a moose, and now I'm really limiting my ability to get an animal if I can't trust myself to shoot 300 yards and beyond. So that's when I really started spending time at the range and practicing and you know, and those guys, you know, they put a rifle in my hands for season 2, and they've taken us to the range, and I did a lot of shooting, and it's like seeing my confidence in what I'm holding. It changes a lot when you have confidence in what you're doing. You know, you're more comfortable taking an animal from a further range, and I think that's important to have within a reasonable range, so that you just provide yourself more opportunities. And that's what it was always about. I'm like, if I can get closer to an animal, I will. But if my best opportunity comes at 400 yards, I want to be able to take that shot.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that too is not just a better opportunity for yourself, but a better opportunity for a clean kill, an unwounded animal that runs off into the bush, which is every hunter's worst nightmare. Not just because they lost the meat, because there's now a wounded animal running around in the woods. And I mean, you're both, as I understand it, competitive shooters, like you're pros, right? And I think that's something that I didn't fully appreciate the value. I mean, is that not true? Am I wrong?
Sure.
Take the compliment, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't fully appreciate how hard it is to fire a rifle at an animal. Well, and that became a bit of a storyline in season 2, and it became part of the reason that Coeur d'Alene outfitted us with some rifles, because it was like, can this rifle do at least a little bit of the work for me specifically to help bring, you know, again, that just to have more success. And, you know, that's been a game changer in a way. Doesn't take away from the need to practice and so on and so forth, but just, again, something I had absolutely zero consideration for starting. You know, again, the arc was guns equal criminals, like, and to where we are now, it's just been such a 360 or 180, I guess. 360
is right back where you were.
At guns equal criminals.
So you did talk about that a little bit before you go to Coeur d'Alene. You talk about the feelings surrounding your purchasing gun, and you said, I would never have felt this way years ago. And then you went in and you walked in. And I have to say this, that they gave you some really good recommendations. You ended up with what? Do you want to talk about the rifle you ended up with?
Well, I ended up with a 300 Winchester short mag, but in season 2, I'm hunting with a, well, Ryan, do you have them? Or it's a 7 PRC, and we both have them, right?
Well, you have a 6.5 PRC.
I have 6.5. Yeah, I have 6.5 PRC. You have a 7.
Yeah, to go a little further with that. So, but so the recommendation from the beginning was so you ended up with your first rifle being a Tikka T3, and you had some good optics on there too. So you were able to see what you needed to. I have to tell you this. You took it out, you sighted it in, and that I'm going, you're bench resting. Like, you're not going to be able to bring that bench with you out into the field. So
hey,
got to get a little practice in.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
You know, and Ryan says it all the time. He's like, you know, hunting in the field is very different than hunting off a bench, a rest. And let's just say I learned that the hard way in season 1.
Yeah.
Let's just
that. If we're being totally honest, it's like I do hate that aspect of it, because there's a part of me that's like, you know, I'm thinking like you can't just shoot at a range and then really be prepared. You know, and that's why I said in the episode, it's like, it's important. We're just going to really control the range. You know, I felt like 140 yards with laying down was like achievable. But yeah, it's like, you know, Joel still struggles with being able to practice as much as he should, because geographically it's just down in the lower mainland in the valley. It's not easy to get
the distance.
Get into those ranges that you need to. So I actually happen to live 20 minutes away from a 1400 meter range. I've got access to an incredible range, so that helps.
Yeah. But so you got a rifle, you got out there, you climbed some difficult terrain. There was some other things that were, I'm not going to give it away to people, but you had some decisions you had to make prior for you even getting out onto the mountain. I know that there's some difficulty there. But I think that Ryan, you and your experience, you made some good decisions for Joel as well as Seth as well. I know that you had to make those considerations, but do you want to talk about the prep that you had to go into for your first actual hunt?
So like you're talking about leading into the first episode. Yeah. Well, I mean, physical fitness is huge. Obviously, anybody who goes on a mountain hunt, I mean, hunting in general, like I don't love road hunting, like at all. I really need to get away from trucks and quads and all of that kind of stuff. So physical fitness is one thing, but a goat hunt is kind of like next level because you're going up some pretty steep terrain. So it was like Joel's always been in fantastic shape. Better, up until we put some weight on our backs, I'd argue that he's in better shape than I am. And Seth was also in really good shape, and we had another videographer, Aaron, with us, and also in fantastic shape. So that was like rule number one. Preparation rule number two is kind of like having good gear with the right gear. You don't have to have top level everything, but there are certain things that I don't want to compromise on, because I've come to learn that if Joel has a bad trip, then Ryan has a bad trip too, because he's cold and he's hypothermic and he's miserable. And so it's like, I'm like, you need good rain gear and you need good hiking boots. Those are really non-negotiable items for me. And then there are other things that generally the less expensive gear just starts to add weight on your back more than you necessarily compromising in quality. So there was a pretty substantial checklist, and I'm still honing it to this day. There's probably a lot of people that would maybe argue with what I take and what I don't take. And I've noticed that some people hold some items in higher regard than I do, and I hold some items in higher regard than they do. So physical fitness, gear, making sure your rifle is shooting accurately is obviously very, very clutch. Don't overpack.
Don't overpack. You talked about even carrying a paperclip that got used up one by one somebody as well. So as I said, you were militant about what was going in your packs because you knew that Joel was going to have to carry it. And there were shared responsibilities with some of the things, like, for example, ammo, right? You had both carry your ammo, your portion.
And I don't even allow people to be like, well, don't worry about it, I'm going to carry it. And I'm like, well, no, because you're going to tire quicker and I want to keep going and you're going to tire. Like, so it's not about I'm going to carry more and it's on me and I'm going to suffer. It's about it really affects the group at that point in time, everything that we do leading up to it. So I know Joel has like a vast assortment of like skincare products and his supplements that he wants to bring, and I'm like, that's
my espresso pump. I have a little espresso, but to my defense, Ryan will always have an espresso if I did pack it up the mountain. You will
you got to start the morning right. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Life's little luxuries are sometimes worth the extra.
The extra. How do I say this? I'll just put it on the table. So you had to learn where to poop and where not to poop. So Ryan, you were a teacher at that moment, correct?
Yeah. You know what influences a lot of Joel's decision making is actually like an irrational fear of bears.
I was gonna say this. Keep going.
He just wants to like poop beside the tent because he feels safe. He wants me within arm's reach when we're out there, and I'm just like, dude, man, no, like, we're gonna be respectful. And you know what's funny, and it didn't even go on camera. It was like we got up there, we filmed, we got the animal, and before we were even heading off the mountain, another group had already come up behind us, and those jerks pooped on the trail. And like, it was just, I thought, man, like,
They
come
left a lot
on.
of garbage there too, tin cans and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean they were
Surprised.
still at their campsite. They were doing some drinking and whatever else, and it was just not really my thing. But you
Right.
know, like to put it in perspective, like I've actually shifted my perspective a little bit because I've actually noticed, like probably to some degree, the regulation changes in regards to grizzly bears in in British
Right.
Columbia. I'm running into so many grizzly bears; it's frightening now. But you know, back then it was like I had harvested my first goat in the area where we filmed this episode about 3 years prior, and Joel was just like, dude, he's like, you gotta carry your rifle. Like I need you to carry your rifle. And I was like, dude, we're about to climb straight up a mountain and I want to use my trekking poles. Like I'm not doing it. And I flat out refused. We were bushwhacking. It was crazy because I was just like, I can't carry a rifle going through some of this terrain. But that was his measure of fear was like extraordinarily high. So
It's not much better.
Oh, I
no.
was just going to ask, has it gotten any better? No.
We talk about it in episode 3 a little bit, but no, I've I get nightmares before we go out into the woods.
Really?
I read The Bear's Embrace, which is about a woman who got attacked by a grizzly in Waterton Lakes National Park years ago, and
Yeah.
the trauma that she went through from that attack. You know, other than a best-selling book, I guess my sense was it ruined her life in more ways than one. And ever since then, I have a ritual nightmare before I go, and we have a moose hunt planned for season 3, and I've already started having like irrational nightmares about running into a
Wow.
grizzly in the woods. So I like clip Ryan's heels, or I mean, I'm better at this part now, but like wanting to be so close to him again because I trust him, not because
Yeah.
I think like I just know a grizzly's not going to mess with Ryan and a grizzly's going to mess with me. So that's like my irrational take on it. They're going to
Hey,
look at Ryan and they're going to be like, you know what? I don't like the
Yeah,
odds. I
it's
don't like
not
the
true.
odds.
all you have to do is run faster than Ryan. That's all.
Yeah. And that's one thing Joel can do.
That's all you have to do. So tell me, we have 2 seasons, and you're talking about a third, right? How is it going? How is the show going?
I mean, we're really just floored and we're really
Yeah.
grateful. And I can't stress that enough because these things are really hard to do. This show is not easy. It's not, you see 42 minutes, but it's literally thousands and thousands of hours. And time away from your family and financial risk and all of these different things. And we felt like it was an important thing to put out into the world, especially in the climate, if you will, of the world that we live in today, where there is so much division around
Mhm.
firearms and around hunting regulations on all of these things. And to just kind of put this thing out there that hopefully lent a little bit of balance, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of excitement, all of that. Uh, and to have the response that we had organically has, I mean, we can't thank the people enough for watching and sharing the show, because otherwise there is no season 3. And then there
Right.
was no season 2, right? I mean, there was thankfully a few sponsors like Scree and Corlay and Vortex, and a few others saw a few episodes of the show and really thought, hey, this is something different, and they gave us a shot at a season 2 before we had any idea, indication whatsoever if people would like the show. And so we're just in it, right? Like Ryan said, like, this is new. The show's only been out in Canada for 5 weeks.
Mhm.
So we're just kind of coming to terms with it all.
Right. So
Very
right
humble.
now, tell us where you're placing in Canada on viewership.
Right.
Right?
Well, I think we were number 8 on Prime for like new adventure TV series right now, and unscripted TV series. But we did get up to number 4 for a good few weeks, anyways. Yeah, so we've been hanging top 10 basically since we launched. Pretty much, we
Awesome.
shot up to within the top 10, and we're still there. So
Which we like to
yeah,
say is really a testament to what Canadians want to watch.
Mhm.
What is it that they're interested in? you know, it's just this little independent show about rewilding and farming and firearms and all of these things is hit top TV, literally top TV on Prime.
Top four.
Shows you that there's so many people out there, and then the messages that we get, there's just so many people out there that are wanting to tap into this, but either don't have a Ryan in their life, as many people say when they send us messages. It's like, oh, I wish I had a solid cousin like you, or it's just hard to find the means, because if you don't come from a hunting lineage, like a family that has spots they've gone to, or an uncle, or this and that, it's not an easy thing to step into. And I respect anyone. Like, I mean, again, I'm kind of not kind of, I'm insanely lucky that I had Ryan, because I would otherwise just be, if I decided to get into it without him, I'd still be in a forest in Cache Creek without a deer. Like 5 years later, that's what my hunting would be.
So I have to ask, because you could have probably gone on to Wild TV or something that's geared towards hunters. You're not on Wild TV. Where can people see you? And well, you've already given it away a little bit, but where can people find you? Oh,
yeah, right now Roku, which is free. I don't even think if you have to download an app if you don't have a Roku TV, but it's free on Roku. We just launched on Tubi, which I believe is also free, and then Prime, which is not free, but everyone has a Prime account. So we're on three major streamers in North America right now.
Right. So, how important is it to you to be on non-hunting shows so that you can reach everyday Canadians?
I think that was actually one thing that we did discuss. Like, we did have opportunities. I think that we can still go on Wild TV if we so choose. We were looking. They actually reached out to us, and it wasn't anything against them, and not that we're against going on Wild TV, but it was kind of like, we didn't want to give any hunting network exclusive rights, because a lot of people actually felt that it was going to limit our audience, because people that tune into those shows are already very into hunting, and we need to reach people that are not. So that's why I felt that the broader spectrum was more important, and we didn't want to limit our viewership to hunters only. So I think we're going to reach a lot of people. You know, I had some people reach out to me that don't live too far away geographically, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's like we're just kind of tired of the same old hunting shows that you watch on so many of these networks, and yours is different, refreshing, and that's why we like it. So
yeah, that's exactly it. Yours is different. It's refreshing. Joel, it's taking you from somebody who is, let's be real, you're very urbanized and you're a non-hunter, to and we're going along your journey and your experience, and you're very relatable. Like, really, yeah.
And we have a lot of opportunity to stretch this for many seasons, because I'll be honest, he's not a quick learner. So, I mean, this could take years.
Hunting. I'm not a quick learner in hunting. Or shooting. Two of the same.
What did you say back here? You have grit, determination, and you need the skill, is what I wrote down here.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Good memory. We were talking about that. You know, there is a there is a hunter instinct, and there's people who are probably more inclined naturally to the skill set that it requires, of which I am not. But again, it lends itself to the premise of the show but that doesn't mean you shouldn't learn, and not just learn because you're trying to put food on your table. Learn because by doing it, you can, again, see somebody else's perspective, or you can understand why the hunters get so excited, you know, with what they fall in love with. And that's really it, right? Understanding each other. I will never be as good a hunter as Ryan, but it's or many people. Just insert name, and but that doesn't mean that I don't want to be out there, right?
And I'm also thinking that it's more than just about hunting. It's about forging those relationships, and you're forging something right now.
Oh, just being in hunt camp.
You have been with Ryan, as well as everybody else that you've been going out with too.
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, I don't flout myself as an expert hunter, but I know where the animals are, and I don't mind spending copious amounts of time out in the bush. And those are a couple of good recipes for success. So
There you go. And if you were guaranteed success, you would be going to the Piggly Wiggly or the local Safeway, right?
that's great. Yeah. No, I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, it was like after like going back to my wife now, it was like it got to the point where after about a decade together, we had just gotten a moose and we ran out of moose meat from the year before. And she bought a pack of like extra lean ground beef, and she still couldn't believe how much fat like cooked out of it. She's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's not moose." And now she's just like all over like white-tailed deer. Like I think she loves white-tailed deer, and it's like she just genuinely loves it. Like everything that we bring home and we process ourselves. And it's like, and my kids too. And like my 3 kids, they're all like, their favorite is black bear meat. Like, who knew? So, I mean, you can't buy it at the store. So if my kid wants to eat black bear meat, we're going to go out and get one. So,
Yep. And you have to do it.
yeah.
And processing it. That's awesome that you're teaching those skills too, right? If something does happen, Joel, you have those skills now too. If something happens and you need to, and you need to go and take a game for feeding your family, you now have the ability to do it.
I really appreciate that you said that. It probably doesn't apply to me, but theoretically it does. Joking aside, my wife hunts in season 2.
Okay.
And I remember, so we did the same thing. We got her a firearm and she went and practiced. And her whole thing was exactly that. I do not know if I want to be a hunter. I know I need these skills. When she first pulled the trigger on a firearm at a range, she cried because she was overwhelmed by the power of that firearm and the noise and the feeling and just knowing what it can do. And then that quickly changed to an appreciation for what this tool can do, a reverence, if you will. I mean, I think that's a very fair statement. And she is very grateful that she now possesses that skill to be able to shoot better than me in case something happens in our family. We're good.
And you're not the first person who's ever told me that, by the way, that their wives actually are better shooters than them, and are able to take a deer or a moose or what have you.
But again, like just going back to it's a skill. And what's wrong with possessing a skill?
Absolutely.
We should know how to change oil, and it wouldn't be a bad thing to know how to hunt or fire a firearm. I have to learn how to change oil, but the other
So I'm going to ask you a question about that. 10 years ago, would you have said that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
See?
I thought it was disgusting. And that's literally the word. I mean,
yeah.
But it came from such a deep level of ignorance, because I didn't, even when I wasn't a vegan or a pescatarian or any of the things in that, along that line where fish are okay, or this and that, I didn't have a clue how that piece of food ended up on my plate, including the broccoli. What are the stakes that's the wrong word. What happens to bring that broccoli to my plate? Who has to die? Is it a field mouse? Okay, so a field mouse or a gopher or a grass snake who in the field that had this growing, did that have to die? And that's the level that's okay? I'm not saying one way or another. All I'm saying is I didn't pay one iota of attention to it, except cast judgment on anyone who did hunt or have a firearm. And so that's been a tremendous perspective shift.
Yeah, it's relatable to a lot of people, including me. I had the same sort of thinking as well. Ryan, you're changing minds.
Yeah, it feels good. Like, honestly, like I was with Joel when he took his first animal, and it was such an impactful thing for him. And I was like, honestly, like super duper, like humbled and grateful to be able to help foster that experience for somebody. And I get to relive that experience again with another person here in season 2. And again, it was like just knowing that it was like I was the person that was able to help shift that perspective and usher them into a new way of life was really really cool. And I think that even at the end of the day, if I'm not making or creating or helping people want to get into hunting, hopefully at least it softens their opinions of those that decide to take it. They might say this isn't for me, but I can now understand why people do it. And it's like I always wrestle with this argument. This is one that I've always heard Stephen Ranella say on his podcast, and he says like, he wants to bring awareness, because it's kind of like if this dies out, if hunting shrinks back, you lose your voice.
Yeah.
We need people in it to speak up for it. And so as much as I don't like the idea of more people being out in the bush, taking up all the good hunting spots, and you're competing more for space, which every hunter, let's be honest, you like the idea of nobody else being out in the bush and you want the biggest animal or whatever. At the end of the day, you can't have it that way, because you're going to lose it. And I really do believe that. We see it year after year. You kind of like lose a little bit of ground. And I think giving people a new perspective on that and helping people understand and become sympathetic towards what hunters are about and what we want to achieve and do is the way that you're going to preserve it long term. So
Yeah, can't agree more. So
yeah,
absolutely correct. Okay, so have to ask, I'm just early into it. Anything that you want to, any spoilers you want to give to me or any of the listening audience, or just say, let her play out and stay tuned for season 3. What's coming up?
I don't know if I want to give spoilers. The fact that we even have spoilers is kind of exciting, right? That it's that kind of show. No, I would just say, it's an independent show. So if you like the show, we'd be grateful that you shared it with someone in your life that you thought might appreciate it. Someone, and you'd be surprised. Again, vegetarians, hikers, people who you would never imagine have sent us messages saying they enjoyed the show. So, and that's how this gets out for us, and how this conversation that Ryan just mentioned continues at the dinner table and so on and so forth. And people can lighten, people can see things a bit differently, which is what we're trying to do here. So,
yeah, great messaging. Quick question. You've already mentioned them already, but who are your sponsors that are making this happen for you? Who are the people that are the organizations that are lending a hand so that you can continue into season 3? Let's give them a little bit of a shout out. Thanks.
Ryan, work your memory on this one.
Oh yeah. So we got Bannister, Ford and GM. They gave us pickup trucks last year and helped us outfit them to make us kind of recognizable on the road, which was pretty sweet. They had a lot of people. Hey, what's this about? So it was a good
Bannister,
conversation.
Dawson Creek.
Bannister, Dawson Creek. Yeah, Bannister, Ford and GM in Dawson Creek. We had Vortex. Gave us some optics. Scree was really huge.
Yeah,
love Scree. Honestly, that gear is awesome. I was like never necessarily brand specific on what I had, but they outfit us, and I'll stand behind their gear. And we had Core Lane Sporting Goods, and they've been really awesome. Yep. They helped
Fit Physical
outfit.
Therapy up in Dawson as well. Sam Moxon does some training for us, and he actually offers virtual training programs for Mountain Tough. Just what Ryan was talking about with Goat Hunt. The one is called the Man Program that is live now, that he has, that you can just drop right into. And so Sam, and if you go to our Instagram, you'll see there and Sam's stuff there. Kershaw Knives, Gator Sunglasses came in and helped us out with some gear as well. Who am I missing, Ryan? Even though I cut you off.
Yeah, you did. You didn't let me jog there. No, man, I think we got her covered. And gosh, if we haven't, forgive me.
Well, Rocky Mountain Rifles affiliated with Core Lane. They support it as well. Ballistics.
You have some really top top or quality supporters there. Everybody that you listed are really top tier. So speaks to you in the product that you're actually delivering as well. So
you're thank you very much for that, because that was one
Yeah.
thing that they said the same thing that you did. It was like, Aaron, our partner, he had a booth set up next to Scree down at the BC Outdoor Show in Chilliwack last year, and he was like, "Oh, here, check out these episodes," and they were just like, "This is different. I want to be a part of that." And they were actually pursuing us, and so it feels good. It was like same thing with Vortex. Their guy in Canada here just watched the show, and he was like, "This is different. Let's get on board." So,
yeah, no, great products. So I'm glad that they're supporting a Canadian independent as well. So this is awesome. Anything, Tony? I'm going to bring you in just in case you have anything that you want to add before we close out. We've been already talking for an hour, guys. So I think that we could probably do a 3-4 hour show as well. But yeah, we probably should tie it up. Tony, you got anything else? Any questions?
I think all the things are covered, and yeah, I'm excited to get into the show. I know Adriel arranged the show for us, so I haven't got the chance to dig into it, but I did see your website. You can find the brother at findingnowhereshow.com. That's their website, and that will lead to all their social media and stuff. So,
yeah.
Well, what I'll say on top of that, Tony, is that I think we have 2 days left in our Hard Scrabble Scree giveaway. So if you go to our Instagram right now, you can win a Hard Scrabble jacket and a Hard Scrabble pant, which is one of the midweight outerwear pieces that is, again, we've worn it all over the world now. And so I think, Ryan, am I right? 2 days left, Friday?
Well, that was a little bit of a spoiler right there. Yeah, goof. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's not a season 1 spoiler.
No,
that's true.
See, you get to see the dynamic playing out here in real time.
You are family. What we'll do is we'll populate that into our comments field too, so that people can go into social media. So Instagram, Facebook, they can go and enter into the contest. But I do have to say something. While you were talking at the beginning of the show, I recognized you from someplace. I couldn't place it, so I pulled up the photos from you at Dragon's Den in your underwear.
Wait, you recognize me without my clothes on, is what you're saying?
True.
Awesome. I will never live it down. I'm still the naked guy through and through.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, I think that good for you, the success that you've had there, but also the success that both you and Ryan and Seth, I want to mention him too, right? He's a huge part of the show. Have had on the show. So
there's no show without Seth, that's for sure.
Great videographer, by the way, really good. Yeah. So again, thank you for coming on tonight. Super excited to go and watch the rest of the rest of season 1 and then into season 2. Can you tell us when season 3 is going to be coming out?
Well, season 2 is going to come out probably January 27. It could be a bit earlier. It could be Christmas. Okay. It's already filmed.
Okay.
We're just tightening up the editing on the last few episodes now. Season 3, we're starting filming in September, so that's still a ways away.
Yeah. You're going to keep us wanting more, right?
Hey, we hope so. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And so we feel pretty spoiled to be even doing it and being able to do a 3rd season. It's pinch us. It's, this isn't something either of us thought would happen 3 years ago. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully there's more seasons to come after that as well, 4, 5, and 6. And maybe, so BC is where all this hunting is taking place, correct?
Pretty much
maybe
mostly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we want to move out of BC a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but really stretch across Canada is kind of what we want to do. I like the idea of getting into Alberta, Saskatchewan, keep going that way. Yeah. Head south.
I imagine there's just so many interesting stories and things that we just don't know in these other beautiful provinces And so it really excites us to not only teach, but to be able to tell stories in places where, it's just, it's funny. It's Canada's so big that you could say that hunting in Ontario is foreign to us, you know,
It's true.
and I think that there would be a lot to unite by being able to bring the perspective across the whole country.
Well, you're welcome to come to Ontario anytime. Come see me. I'll hunt with you anytime.
Yes, thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Thanks again, guys. Really, really happy that you guys came on, and good luck with Finding Nowhere.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Thanks again, guys, for coming on. It's really great to have a chance and an opportunity to interview you. Again, I love the show. It's different, and I'm going to just go through every episode that I can that's available currently right now. I'm watching it on Prime. And then season 2, what I'm hearing is about to drop in, November, December, and then when season 3. I'm already pushing them for season 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So
Fair
yeah.
enough. And
Yeah.
I think on the website, again, findingnowhereshow.com,
Yep.
you can find them on Google. They already have a teaser out for season 2.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Again, the easiest way to find them, they have all their social media on their webpage, and then you can find them on Prime Video.
Yeah, and if you're listening right now on July 15th, so 15th, 16th, and 17th is what I'm hearing, go to their Instagram page. I did post it in the comments on social media that you can go and win some scree gear. Right? If this is high quality stuff, so go and do that. You can win some stuff. Let's get into emails. Did we already cover this last week, or no? Do you know at all? This is
I am
from
not
Eddie.
sure.
Okay, we'll read it anyways.
Okay.
Let's go for it. Hi, guys and gals. Sad to hear the news, but CCI standard velocity has reported that to have booms lately with case head blowouts and separation. Here's the link to the thread on CGN about it's in Gun Nuts, and if you want to go in there, there is a thread about it. But just to go through a quick summary of the reported lot numbers that have problems is D26EA09, E21CA01, G18EA06, H21CA10, and C07E107. And the most notorious one reported was CO4E111. I have checked my inventory, and luckily none of them are from the lots reported. I know many shooters use this ammo. Please pass along for everyone's safety. According to the thread, CCI is asking for. I've lost it here. I've lost my mind. Just one second.
CCI has asked everyone who reports an incident for details, including photos, and offer compensation for returning unused ammo to their distributor. Be safe and shoot straight. That's from
Thanks, Eddie. It's really important. All right. Well, do we have YouTube comments?
Something went wrong with their powder supply? That is very strange.
CCI is pretty dependable usually.
Yeah. They're in the conglomerate of Remington Federal Ammo, so I haven't really heard anything bad about their ammo.
Yeah, I give them a little bit more credit than Federal. Anyways, okay. YouTube, do we have any comments on YouTube that we want to address, or do we want to save them?
We'll address them.
Okay.
We actually have quite a few.
Oh dear.
We have Travers Millhouse 8936 on last week's episode 661. I'm on a range day, Dustin. Oh, I'm on a range day, Dustin. Okay. I thought you had a range day with Dustin, but I guess that's not the case yet. On the late boat home to the islands. Perfect timing for your show. Keep it up, y'all. Thank you, Travis. 600 Viking. Thanks for bringing in Jake. It's great to hear something a little different. I love his content. It's sometimes pretty deep in the weeds. If you're not familiar with black powder, his testing and accidental discovery are definitely interesting. Thanks for having great Slamfire content. Thank you, 600 Viking. We have the homework from Eddie. I read an article about our carnival
Okay.
carnival crime minister receiving a oh god, that's the Turkish 357 Magnum. I don't know how to say their manufacturer's name. I'm sorry. Uh, in Turkey, it's a copy of a Colt Python. I immediately thought, what exemption
Oh, I
would
know.
he
Yeah.
use to import that into the country? But the article continues saying it was going to be deactivated so it could be imported, which is odd to me. I thought there was other ways they can import things, but I guess I would have think they wanted to import it and then deactivate it instead of the other way around, but God knows what they're doing. And he continues on saying, those Norma Oryx 308 ammo could be on sale for a reason. I bought some from Reliable Gun a few months ago for $34 a box, but they produce group well over 3.5 inches at 100 yards in any rifle I tried them in. That's crazy, Eddie.
Not good.
So maybe buyer beware, Norma Oryx 308 ammo.
Hmm.
I know Norma has some association with government military ammo production. I don't know if they're coming off of the
Yeah.
military machine. Still.
Close enough for hand grenades and the government. So
Oh God.
the military. Okay.
Dustin, celebratory gunfire is good on July the 1st and 4th. There will probably be a lot of celebratory gunfire if we get the conservative version of simplified classification. That's a distinct detail, not the liberal version of the simplified classification. That will be difficult. Was the 10 millimeter Glock you shot at Abbey ported? If so, that would cut down the felt flipperosity.
Yes. It's an actual word. Look it up in the dictionary.
Sure. Adriel, who is not here, that
Yeah.
Vancouver level rain you experienced in the at Mighty P3 gun was Vancouver wintertime rain. It hasn't rained much here in the last month.
See? Global warming.
I thought it's global warming, not global raining, but okay. You consider ammo from 3 years ago old? I got some from over 2 decades ago. Some CCI standard velocity boxes have the lot number imprinted dry stamped on the bottom. Interesting. You have to have good lighting and viewing the box at the right angle to read it. That's interesting.
I don't think they're going to be in the lot numbers that Eddie provided earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, probably not. But
and it doesn't go bad either. So just don't get it wet.
Vancouver though, oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be pushing my luck.
Okay.
And last comment from Clay Delton, 5308. Thanks for having Jake on the show. Awesome interview. Thank you, Clay. That's all the comments we have for this week.
Okay. Thanks, Tony, for reading them. So a couple things. We've already talked about it before when we were reviewing what's new in guns. Go to our website. You can go and click on the Cabela's link or the Brennells, and then go order whatever you're looking for, because we get a little bit of a kickback, couple of pennies per purchase, whatever it is. And then we will read it out periodically on the show, maybe once every couple of months, and just what our listeners are buying. So go and do that if you're planning to buy something. All right. Just want to give a shout out to our supporters who are on Patreon. And if you'd like to support us, go on over there and, click on the link, give us a few pennies, dollars, whatever it is you can afford. So it'll keep the lights on for us. If you'd like to email the show or connect with us in any way, you can send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com and I will read it poorly on the show. and Tony will catch up or pick up my slack. Tony, do you want to give us any shout outs, or do you have any shout outs to give us?
I'll give a shout out to the crew at Finding Nowhere. That looks like an awesome show. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but I did check out their website. There's tons of cool stuff. They even cover foraging, which is kind of crazy to me. I know it's a topic in those kind of not survival. How do you say?
It's sustainability.
Sustainability,
yeah,
self-sufficient shows,
right.
but it's super cool. It's something I'm interested in looking into, but
Yeah.
I think I'm still kind of on a fear level of getting poisoned. So maybe I'll
Well, that's
slowly
part of
ease
it.
into
You
it. I don't
learn
know.
what's poisonous and what's not, right?
Oh god, there's this Chinese mythical story of it's called 神农氏尝百草. There's this magical doctor who tasted 10,000 different kind of like grass to find their medical properties. Yeah, I don't want to be that. Thanks.
Okay. Here, I have this piece of advice, right? Everything is edible at least once. Not everything is edible more than once, though, right? Because if it's poisonous, you'll die.
Yeah, don't eat your bullets. Bad idea.
Well, some people do it. All right. Shout outs for me. I'll echo your comments as well. I really enjoyed having our guests on tonight. Ryan, his shooting experience and how he is or was how he transferred that knowledge to Joel, and it sounds like a really good relationship. They're cousins. You can tell they're cousins. But it's a really cool show to go and watch, and I was so glad I had the opportunity to view a little bit of it before coming on tonight and having a conversation with them, because I found a new show I'm going to watch the whole entire season. So that's my shout out to Adriel for not coming on tonight, because he was supposed to do the interview, and it ended up being me, so it was awesome. All right, go on over to Discord and chat with us. I don't chat at all on Discord, but Tony does. He posts all kinds of crap on there.
Yeah, sometimes.
Go watch us on your Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We're recording live there tonight. Also, go join the CCFR. Obviously, if you're listening to the news portion of tonight's podcast, we're doing a lot.
Supreme Court challenge is coming up soon.
You betcha.
There's a date set.
We need some money as well, so go donate to the CCFR so that we can pay for that challenge. And guess what, guys? We're going to be on next week with some other great, guests that are going to be coming up. Oh my God, we're almost approaching show 700. Who would imagine that we are 700? Probably get that done before the end of the year. So we should probably start planning that too. I'm just so off topic and I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed. Anyways, have a very good night, and we'll see everybody next week. Good night.
Good night, Dustin.